July 19th, 2020, Kanye West officially announces his 10th studio album as Donda. August 29th, 2021, Donda has officially been released. 1 year, 3 listening parties, multiple strange sources. What a wild ride this Donda experience has been, and technically, it doesn't even seem like it's over. But the album is officially out on streaming services. It's #1 on Apple Music, iTunes, everything, #1 in pretty much every country around the world. But for one last time, let's cover the complicated rollout of Donda, the finale. We last left off with Kanye still altering the album while working at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And a lot of great and very important adjustments were being made to the album following the very rough first public listening party that was held at MBS. Kanye had already announced a date for the second listening party, still in Atlanta, and the days leading up were pretty quiet because they were at work. Late at night on August 5th, the day before the listening party, things would start to heat up. A live stream would begin on Apple Music, streaming from Kanye's makeshift bedroom/studio at MBS. And a lot of eventful things would happen here as the fans really got to see Kanye's insight, his psyche, his process just 24 hours before performing in front of millions of people watching at home. In the stream, we would see Kanye record verses, an intern get his haircut, a clock on Mike Dean's forehead, and of course, most importantly, watch Kanye sleep. In all seriousness, this was a pretty cool idea. And of course, the room would have some symbolism behind it, but we'll get there in a bit. Hours before the live stream began, Apple Music would put up Donda for pre-order, 24 tracks, some of them having stars, meaning there were the key tracks on the record, and none of them had names. They're just like track 1, track 2, etc. Kanye would officially host his second listening party at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium on August 6th with a very impressive setup, especially considering how the first one was designed. Throughout the show, Kanye would change his outfits, vibe to the music, and finally, in a huge send-off, ascend to the heavens on an ultralight beam. The tracks played at the event would be the following: Donda, known to some as South Carolina, featuring Pusha T and Tony Williams; Moon, featuring Don Toliver and New Edition, Kid Cudi; Praise God, featuring Travis Scott and Baby Keem; I'm Not Okay, that was the fan title to it. We would later know it as OK OK, featuring 504 and Lil Yachty; Junya, featuring Playboi Carti; Jonah, featuring Vori and Lil Durk; Heaven and Hell; Off the Grid, featuring Playboi Carti and 504, Remote, featuring Young Thug and Kid Cudi; Donda Chant, New Again, featuring Chris Brown; Pure Souls, featuring Roddy Ricch; Keep My Spirit Alive, featuring KC, Westside Gunn, and Conway the Machine; Never Abandon Your Family; Jesus Lord, featuring Jay Electronica; Shock West, Jadakiss, Styles P, and Larry Hoover Jr. on the outro; God Breathed, featuring Vori; Television, featuring Pop Smoke; Jail, featuring Jay-Z; Lord I Need You; Hurricane, featuring The Weeknd and Lil Baby; 24, and No Child Left Behind, featuring Vori. I already talked about how much better this listening event was visually, but of course, we gotta talk about how big of a step forward it was audio-wise. This thing sounded nearly finished. The new additions, like Kid Cudi, were fantastic, and although Kanye's verses still had a little bit of mumble, it seemed as if we were in the end zone. The album was pretty much done, and a lot of fans had hope that it was dropping this weekend simply based off of the Apple Music release date. That would not happen. The only update we would get on Apple's side would be, how I mentioned how the tracks were track 1, track 2, track 3, all the way to 24. Track 2 would be given an identity, being Hurricane, featuring, of course, The Weeknd and Lil Baby. Interestingly enough, Mike Dean would hop on the West Sub Ever Discord and ask fans, who are very dedicated there, of course, what version of Hurricane they preferred the most while still working on the track. Eventually, though, everyone in Kanye's camp would leave MBS on the second week of August, and to solidify that, we would see Kanye roaming around in LA, shopping and, just doing stuff in his mask, outside of Georgia. On August 18th, Kanye would take to Instagram to post a major announcement, a picture kind of like a poster, announcing a third listening party. This one to take place on the 26th of August in his hometown of Chicago. Hype around the event's stage design would begin, with those on the production team saying it's literally better than any of Kanye's former tour stages, which is a huge statement to make. Kanye would tease the design, posting a picture of his childhood home to Instagram. Now here's where we take a weird detour, but I feel like we got to talk about this feud, fake feud, I don't know. Trippie Redd comes out with his new album on the 20th. It was titled Sega Genesis. No, I'm just kidding. But one of the tracks, titled Betrayal, would have a Drake feature where Drake basically has a little diss. He's kind of making fun of Kanye, saying he's not really moving or intimidating me. He's 44, 45, whatever. And the Certified Lover Boy's comments would allegedly really get under the skin of Kanye. Kanye would take to Instagram, posting a screenshot of a message that he sent to a group chat. Underneath this picture of Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, Kanye would say this in the text message: "I live for this. I have been fucked with nerd-ass jock N-words like you my whole life. You will never recover, I promise you." On the 23rd, Kanye would continue this by posting a screenshot from Apple Maps of Drake's Toronto address. Now, this is a very well-known location. Everyone kind of knows this. You can look it up and find it, but kind of like Kanye's doxing Drake. And Drake would simply respond to this by just laughing on an Instagram story. On the 24th, we would learn that Kanye is attempting to legally change his name to Ye, which is still in the process as of the time of this video filming. This isn't really a surprise to a lot of us hardcore Kanye fans. He's been on this whole getting rid of his slave name idea since 2018. But this is something that's been very important to him for a while, and a lot of passion behind this name change for sure.
I believe Ye is the most commonly used word in the Bible, and in the Bible it means you. So it's I'm you, I'm us. It's us. It went from being Kanye, which means the only one, to just Ye, just being a reflection of our good, our bad, our confused, everything. That I'm just more of a reflection of who we are.
On the 25th of August, Kanye would officially release his Yeezy Stem Player. The device, priced at $200, would allow users to play around with songs by isolating vocals, repeating lines, altering samples, and more. The Stem Player, which has been in the works since 2020, comes with every single song off of Donda, so that means the fans who are getting this device, which allegedly ships by the end of summer, are getting the Donda songs with it. So that means the stems for each song off Donda are already preloaded onto this device, and we don't really got that much of summer left. On August 26th, Kanye West would host his third and final listening party for the Donda project in his hometown of Chicago at Soldier Field. The stage, of course, would be breathtaking, a replica of his childhood home on a hill. Kanye would bring out multiple guests at this event, each coming out of the house at different intervals, and they would all be involved or on Donda in some form or fashion. The tracks played at this event would be the following: Donda Chant, Jail featuring DaBaby and Marilyn Manson on backing vocals, God Breathed featuring Vori, Off the Grid featuring Playboi Carti, 5EO4, and a new Kanye verse that is amazing, Hurricane featuring The Weeknd and Lil Baby. Thank you, Mike Dean, for making this even better of a song. Praise God featuring Travis Scott and Baby Keem, Tell the Vision featuring Pop Smoke, OK OK featuring 5EO4 and Lil Yachty, Junya featuring Playboi Carti. Sadly, his verse was cut down. Believe What I Say, which is a new addition, obviously. Very happy about that one. 24, Remote featuring Young Thug, and just probably the best sample of Kanye's career, let's be honest.
Swabble, double, wobble, gobble, flabber, blah, blah, blah.
Moon featuring Don Toliver, Heaven and Hell, Keep My Spirit Alive featuring KC and West Side Gun, Jesus Lord, also cut short, only featuring Jay Electronica and Larry Hoover Jr. New Again featuring Chris Brown, and we wouldn't really hear much of him. This song would be really kind of messed up, I would say, by Kanye playing around with the stem player. Kanye played JD Anthem by Ruga, so kind of a departure from his album at this point, but it got the people there hype. I'll say that, I was there. Jonah featuring Vori and Lil Durk, Lord I Need You, Pure Souls featuring Roddy Ricch and Shenseea with a beautiful outro. The track Come to Life is also a new addition, which is awesome. And then the outro being No Child Left Behind featuring Vori. This event would kind of be negatively looked upon by the public just due to the absence of Kid Cudi and Jay-Z. In hindsight, with them being back on the album and some of the weird things that happened at this event and were played here being fixed, this was a pretty damn cool show, from the stage to the ending, which was just so powerful. All of it was a lot to take in, and there was some great graphics there too that I don't know if they showed you guys on the live stream that were just so powerful. The room that was seen in that MBS live stream would be revealed to be a room inside of Kanye's childhood house. We would get a shot of Kanye burning inside of the room, only to escape, fall to his knees, and officially be free as Ye. Finally letting go of the grief caused by his mother's passing, Kanye would be reborn and reunite with his wife Kim Kardashian. As Kanye finally removed his mask and showed his face in the public for the first time in a very long time, Ye is free. Again, we had a scenario where it's the weekend of the listening event. A lot of us thought, would the album come out after the listening party? What's going on? We all kind of lost hope. But on the Saturday after the listening event, Kanye's manager Boo would post to Instagram on his story saying, "Delivered," obviously referring to the album, and Kanye's collaborators, be that Pusha T, Casey Pluto, etc., would confirm this. We now know that the album was supposed to be dropped Saturday, but Kanye would be pretty straightforward with us and tell us exactly why it wasn't. He would take to Instagram very early on Sunday morning, I'm talking 2 a.m., and post screenshots of messages, one being with his manager Boo, basically explaining Boo was giving him news that DaBaby's manager won't approve Jail. They don't want him on the song, and Kanye was pretty mad, and Kanye was he made it very clear he does not want DaBaby off that song because DaBaby was the only one to publicly back him in the election incident. Call it an incident. Then Kanye would post a conversation with DaBaby, letting him know of the situation, and also warning him of his managers trying to kind of stop him from using his voice, I guess. But most importantly, in that conversation with DaBaby, Kanye is saying, "Your manager is the reason my album didn't drop." Meaning that this guy was actually trying to release the album for once. As the night went on, I went to sleep, but fans on West Sub Ever would do some research. They were looking around, Shazamming songs, and almost every song from the listening party was popping up on Shazam. They were in the algorithm. A leak would occur at like 4 in the morning, and fans would get a track list and release time for Donda. This news would be confirmed by Kanye's manager Boo, and the album officially, Donda, would release at 8 a.m. on Sunday morning. The track list would be the following: Donda Chant, Jail featuring Jay-Z, God Breathed featuring Vori, Off the Grid featuring Playboi Carti and 5EO Foreign, Hurricane featuring Lil Baby and The Weeknd, Praise God featuring Travis Scott and Baby Keem, Jonah featuring Lil Durk and Vori, OK featuring Lil Yachty and Ruga, Junya featuring Playboi Carti, Believe What I Say, 24, Remote Control featuring Young Thug, Moon featuring Don Toliver and a returning Kid Cudi, Heaven and Hell, Donda featuring Tony Williams and Stallone. Pusha T would be taken off of that track, it would be shortened. Keep My Spirit Alive featuring KC, Westside Gunn, and Conway the Machine. Jesus Lord featuring Jay Electronica and Larry Hoover Jr. New Again featuring Chris Brown. Tell the Vision featuring Pop Smoke. Lord I Need You. Pure Souls featuring Roddy Ricch and Shenseea. Come to Life, and the final track, No Child Left Behind, featuring Vori. So things are going to get weird, but before I explain what's kind of going on now, here are the bonus tracks. Jail Part 2, featuring Marilyn Manson on the backing vocals and that DaBaby verse as well. OK Part 2, featuring Shenseea and Ruga. Junya Part 2, featuring the longer Playboi Carti verse, which is great, and also Ty Dolla $ign. And Jesus Lord Part 2, and that is the whole 11-minute version. But then, we're all riding high, we finally got this album. Kanye takes to Instagram and basically posts this, and it's his first time actually addressing us. He wrote in a notes page basically saying that Universal Music Group released his album without his permission, and they did not want to approve Jail 2. Now, we don't really know what happened because Jail was added to the album like an hour after it was released. This is just a very weird situation because a lot of us were really happy with the final product, and I don't really know how to feel. It seems as if now that Jail is on the album, this is the final version of Donda. It's Kanye's version. It is officially out there for us to listen to and consume, and I think it's time to rejoice. Everyone sit back, have your favorite beverage, order yourself a nice pizza, treat yourself, and let's just enjoy Donda. It has been such a wild ride. We're here. We got it. In his 10th studio album, Kanye West takes us through a very heartbreaking story, starting off at his lowest end, grieving his mother's passing, eventually breaking free to the light of God. The album reflects Donda's impact on Kanye's life, as well as spreads her teachings to a whole new generation. At 23 tracks long, not including the bonus tracks obviously, Kanye has really perfected his gospel style, infused with some of his greatest verses of his career, and I'm dating back to The College Dropout. Kanye is great on this thing. A lot of people talked about Kanye's potential hesitance for putting out a product with his mother's name on it in memory of her, and I think he has done her legacy right. This is a beautiful album, a lot of great tracks on here, a great story told, and her parts of the album where she is speaking are absolutely, you just get chills. In loving memory,
Donda.